Hi everyone, DeMarco here, General Manager and Lead Handicapper of the world's largest online sports handicapping site, PickNation.com. Every Saturday throughout this college football season, joining you right here, not only with free picks, but free gambling advice as well. 3 free picks coming your way. First one's going to be that Conference USA showdown between Houston and Tulsa. But first, a quick word about free picks. You know, last Saturday, I went 1 and 2 with the free picks. And sometimes, guys, that happens. But remember, free picks are basically the best of the worst. And what I mean by that, if they were better, they would have been the premium play, the plays that I released to my customers, the plays that I'm personally betting. For example, last Saturday, the best bet on the board, the one that I bet, the one that I released to the paying customers, it was Georgia Tech getting the win and cover at Vanderbilt. So many guys in this business say, oh, I just keyed the wrong game, or I just focused on the wrong pick and I released the wrong game on the board. Hey, there is no such thing as a good loser, guys. The key to this winning is simply to find the right game, to hammer it hard. Well, I would rather lose all my free picks and hit the big game, the game that I'm betting on, the game that my customers are playing on week in and week out. Now, over the years, historically, I've hit about 60% of my free picks. The past couple of weeks, I haven't hit many free picks, but bottom line, I'd much rather hit the premium picks that customers are paying for, the games that I'm personally wagering, such as Georgia Tech. But with that being said, let's turn to the first free pick of the day, Houston and Tulsa in Conference USA play. Did you see what Case Keenum did last week against Southern Miss? Do you even know who Case Keenum is, the Houston quarterback? 6 touchdown passes, 559 yards passing, including the game-winning touchdown pass in the final minute of play in a 50-43 win against Southern Mississippi, now taking on a Tulsa team that is struggling. 3 consecutive losses, including a 27-13 loss to SMU, a team that Tulsa was favored by 14.5 points against. Now you know why Tulsa was part of my Fraud 5 in my blog last week in college football, because SMU beat them starting a true freshman quarterback who passed for 354 yards. Now, if a freshman quarterback can throw for 354 yards against that Golden Hurricane defense and secondary, what is Case Keenum going to do? The Tulsa quarterback also last week suffered a concussion. He may not play today. His backup last week, 9 for 22, 206 yards. That does not bode well for a team that's lost 3 straight games, right, guys? Another thing to keep in mind, Houston is currently ranked number 15 in the BCS poll. This is a team that learned its lesson earlier this year when ranked number 12 in the polls and lost outright to UTEP. Now, last year, Houston won this game 70-30. It's not going to win this big this year, but I think in a near virtual pick'em game, you back the hotter team, and that is Houston, to take care of business in this contest. Now, before I get to my second free pick, let's talk about Las Vegas and my favorite casino and gambling spot, the Golden Nugget Hotel Casino, and how you can win a free VIP weekend, because every 30 days, we're giving away a free VIP weekend to one lucky winner who enters his email address by going to PickNation.com and clicking on the VIP weekend giveaway link at the top of the page. Here's what the winner is going to get: a high roller suite, VIP check-in, airport limo service to and from the Golden Nugget downtown, and VIP seating. The Gordy Brown's incredible show at the Golden Nugget, and it's all free to one lucky winner every 30 days. Best part of all, guys, no purchase necessary. Just click on the VIP weekend getaway link at the top of the page at PickNation.com. Enter your email address. It really is that simple. And once again, no purchase necessary. Guys, it's where I play. It's where I hang out. So go to PickNation.com. Enter your information right now. Enter the contest for free, and maybe we'll be hanging out here at the end of the month at the Golden Nugget Hotel Casino. My second free pick, it's going to be the Big East showdown between Cincinnati and Connecticut. Big revenge game for the Bearcats here, because last year they lost 40-16 as a 2.5-point road favorite, a game which they were up 13-10 at halftime. It was their only Big East loss a year ago. Ironically, their quarterback, Tony Pike, was returning from an injury in that game, but 6 turnovers doomed Cincinnati in that contest. Now Cincinnati is back at home, and the home team has covered 4 straight, all 4 games in this series, in fact, and Cincinnati is on a 13-5 ATS run at Nippert Stadium, where they've won 20 out of 22 straight up. Ironically, Tony Pike, of course, injured once more, has missed the last 2.5 games. If he plays today, it's only going to be in a backup role to Zach Collaros, who has played tremendous ball, replacing Pike. 37 of 45 for 548 yards and 7 touchdowns in his absence. UConn is just an emotionally spent team. You know all about the off-field tragedy they've had to endure here the past couple weeks. And then 2 weeks ago, they played their hearts out. They lost at West Virginia after blowing a big lead. Then last week at home, their first game back on campus in Stores after that tragic loss, they had the game right there, won against Rutgers. And then Rutgers, a phenomenal play in the closing minute. They score a big touchdown on a long TD pass, and they lose 28-24 to the Scarlet Knights. And in that game, they also lost their quarterback, Cody Endries, who had been starting because Zach Frazier suffered a knee injury in the season's third game. Well, Frazier came off the bench and tried to rally him. 3 touchdown passes, but he's not as good of a passer, so I think that hurts Connecticut as well. Plus, this Connecticut team does not play any defense. They give up 414 yards. That's one of the worst figures in the Big East Conference. Meanwhile, Cincinnati is #1 in the Big East, averaging 454 yards a game and 39 points an outing. So I say go with Cincinnati. And here's one more thing to remember. You know, one of the reasons I used Georgia Tech as my best bet last week was because they were a team that was at that time ranked #11 in the BCS polls. It's very important when you're playing a nobody, which Cincinnati in essence is playing this week in Connecticut. It's very important to win impressively, to impress the pollsters when it's late in the season. Teams like TCU, Boise State, Georgia Tech, Cincinnati, they have to win big when their opponents aren't that big, really, on the field. So you've got to have big double-digit margins of victory to impress the pollsters. 7-point wins, 10-point wins, that doesn't matter. So you've got to pour it on in the second half. It's why I used Georgia Tech. And if you remember, fourth quarter, they blew a tight game open against Vanderbilt and got the big double-digit win and cover. I'm looking for the same thing with Cincinnati, and that's why I don't have any problems with laying the big wood in this contest. Now, before I get to my final free pick, which is going to be on on Duke and North Carolina in the ACC, I want to talk about my biggest college football release of the season, my one and only Big Ten game of the year, a 25-unit play on Penn State and Ohio State. I had only 3 25-unit plays last year. I won them all. In fact, the last one, it was Penn State 13-6 at Ohio State. Do I back the Buckeyes now in revenge? Because, hey, guys, they've looked good the last couple of weeks, totally dominating an overmatched New Mexico State team at home last week. And keep in mind, did Penn State look good in their only other step-up game this year at home? Remember against Iowa, up 10-0 early and then let the Hawkeyes dominate the game? Or does Penn State simply have too much defensively for a one-dimensional Ohio State attack? This line's around 3.5. Which way are you going to go? I have the answer. It's my one and only Big Ten game of the year. It's a 25-unit play. And to put that in perspective for you guys, it is 5 times stronger than last week's winner on Georgia Tech. Get it now. PickNation.com, my biggest college football play of the year. In fact, I've only had one football play bigger than this, and that was in the NFL, my 30-dime game of the year 4 Mondays ago when Brett Favre and the Vikings beat the Packers. Now, your final free pick, it's going to be Duke and North Carolina. North Carolina has certainly owned this series, winning 18 of the last 19 straight up, and I think you're getting some value in this game because I like Duke, and you're getting 10.5 points because North Carolina upset Virginia Tech on the road 20-17 2 weeks ago, and that was, of course, 1 week after North Carolina's second-half meltdown in Chapel Hill against Florida State. Duke comes in here having won 3 in a row in ACC play for the first time, I think, since 1994, beating North Carolina State, Maryland, and Virginia. Thaddeus Lewis, Duke quarterback, 64% completions, 282 yards per game average, 14 touchdown passes. Duke has been a great play over the years as a road dog, covering 28 of their last 41 when in that situation. North Carolina, on the other hand, during Butch Davis's tenure as an ACC favorite, 1 win, 5 losses, and 1 push. Not exactly impressive. I think this number is too big. I think this is a 6 or 7 point game, and I'm going to grab the points with Duke as my final free pick. Once again, my biggest college football play of the year, my one and only Big Ten game of the year, 25-unit play, 5 times stronger than my winner last Saturday on Georgia Tech, available now. PickNation.com. It's the one game I'm playing. It's the one game I suggest you play today. Get it now at PickNation.com. And remember, catch me tomorrow when I'm joined by Steve Booten as we break down your Sunday NFL card from a point spread perspective. Take it easy, guys, and we'll catch you again on Sunday.